Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am 31 weeks pregnant. What? So I have a few moments to give you guys a quick update about what's been going on with me, what's been going on with baby. I'll start with like my physical symptoms. So I am still really struggling with the sciatica, and I don't know if it's round ligament pain or if there's something like, I don't know. I spoke to my midwife about it at my last appointment, which was like 28 weeks was my last appointment. And she said that it sounds like nerve pain, and she did suggest that I go see a chiropractor. She did say that it's not going to solve my problem, but it might give me some like relief. I do have coverage for that, but I'm kind of like freaked out. I've never been to a chiropractor. I remember going with my grandma when I was younger. She used to like going, and I was like, it creeped me out. I know a lot of people go, but I don't know. I don't think I can do it, and especially if it's not going to solve my problem, just give me some kind of relief. I don't know. So I have been getting Gillis to give me some like really deep tissue massages, and that has been a lifesaver. There was a stretch, probably, yeah, like 28 to 29 weeks where I was like in excruciating pain 24/7. I almost felt like I needed to be on bed rest or something. I couldn't do anything. There was like a straight 3 days where Gillis would just like dedicate like a good chunk of time just massaging it out, and like as the days went on, as he would do that, I would start feeling better and better and better. Now when I start to feel like it's coming, like the pain's coming, I get him to do those massages, and it seems to kind of hold it off, or at least like not get as bad as it was for that 1 week period. I don't know if this is TMI, but whatever. Thankfully, like now that he sees how much pain I'm in, like for that whole week stretch, like I was in tears the whole week. Now that he sees how much actual pain it is, like the massages don't end up with like him wanting to get some. Like it's literally just a massage that I need. Some of you have got to have a man like that. Anyways, so yeah, it's been working out so far with that. I have looked into, or I haven't really looked into it, but like I have been debating on getting like an exercise slash birthing ball. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I don't really know if that will help. Then again, if I am aiming towards going for like a non-medicated birth, maybe that might be helpful to have at home, because I plan to do most of my laboring at home like I did last time with Zoe. I do know, I'm pretty sure the hospital has them, but like if I'm at home doing most of it, maybe that will help me. I didn't have one last time with Zoe. I think most of the time I just like stayed on the bed. I did get into the bathtub. That didn't do anything. I don't really have like a deep soaker tub. Like I wasn't really comfortable. So most of the time I was just on my bed, but the more I read about, labor and stuff, like I know it's good to keep moving. So maybe having an exercise ball would help me like stay in one place like I want to, but also be active, like to bounce on it, roll around, do all that kind of stuff. So I might get one. I haven't decided yet. Noticed last night that I am starting to kind of like leak here and there from my breasts, and it's not annoying. I'm kind of excited because I had such a successful breastfeeding journey with Zoe that I'm hoping that means like I'm just gonna have a successful time with this one as well. So that's exciting that that's already starting. I say like it's already starting, but when you really think about it, I've got like 9-ish weeks, give or take, left. So my body is really gearing up. The last time I was at the midwife, she did say that the baby was not head down at the time. She was kind of like curved, which I thought was different because in my previous appointments, they always said she was head down. I know the further away from your due date, the more likely they are to move around. But everything I've read and I remember with Zoe, like Zoe was already engaged, already head down. So that kind of made me a little bit anxious. I'm hoping this week when I go that she's head down. I don't know. She definitely hasn't dropped. I still feel like I can't breathe when I sit down. Like she's all up in my ribs and my lungs, and so I know I haven't dropped that way. I haven't really felt that uncomfortable pressure between my legs, so I don't think her head's in there yet. Another physical symptom is heartburn has returned with a vengeance. I had a good month or so where I was okay, and now it's just like excruciating. I might have to look into getting something a little bit stronger than what I have been taking, or that I was even taking with Zoe, because these seem to not be working. I can take one and I'll feel like I need to take another right after, and there's only a certain amount you can take a day while you're pregnant with this specific brand that I have. So I might look into getting something a little bit stronger, and it doesn't seem to make a difference what I eat or drink. Even water. Water gives me heartburn. Go figure. I think that's about it for physical symptoms. It seems to be like the same pattern each time. It's just terrible skin, the back pain, out of breath. I think I mentioned last time I'm still struggling with that. Like when I stand for long periods of time, like I just gotta sit down. I can't breathe. I'm feeling pretty good emotionally lately. I did, like, we have had a pretty bad day today. I don't know if it's Zoe or if it's me or if it's just us together. We're just not having a very good day today. I've lost my patience a couple times. Like, not, it's my idea of losing patience. So I know some people could, be a fly on my wall and be like, that was losing patience. But yeah, it's just, I don't really like to get upset. But I was today, and so was she. So, but other than that, I'm feeling really good emotionally. I'm feeling at peace with everything. I'm feeling less anxious the second time around than I was with Zoe. I'm just really excited to meet her and get this over with. I have picked up another book. I will be getting it from the library probably today. And it's called Natural Hospital Birth. I can't remember the author offhand, but it looks pretty interesting. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. Yeah, it was more, she did talk about hospitals, but it was more women's experiences giving birth in birth centers or at her farm, or like away from the medical a medical environment, whereas this one is more for women who want to go the unmedicated route but have that secure feeling of the backup in a medical environment. So I am having a midwife, and last time with Zoe I didn't, you know what, maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll make a video about my birth story the first time around. Like, thankfully I was in a hospital where the nurses and doctors that work there didn't really interfere at all with my labor and delivery. So it was just completely my midwife. There was a point where the medical team did have to come in, but after that was all sorted out, I didn't see them again, kind of thing. So maybe I'll make a video if you're curious on how my first birth and like my first labor and delivery went. Then I can just tell you kind of how all that went, because I don't think I've ever really explained it. So anyways, I'm excited about this book because I do want to be in a hospital, because I am one of those people that always worry about something going wrong, and I do feel like I would feel more comfortable and be able to deliver faster and labor more stress-free in a hospital. I'm also starting to get a little bit sad looking at Zoe, watching her throughout the day, and knowing that my time of being just her mom and not having to share her with anybody is coming to an end. And that makes me happy, because having a sibling is one of the greatest things a parent can do for their child. But it also makes me sad because like it's a very weird feeling. Like I know my heart's gonna be able to carry all the love for both the children, but it's just a weird feeling of not knowing like how that's going to happen. And I just, yeah, it makes me really anxious to like think about having to share my love and attention. And yeah, so I have been known lately to like cry very easily. Like last night at dinner I cried just for her saying thank you for getting us dinner tonight, Dad. And like, I don't know, it's just silly little things like that. Another thing I'm oddly getting anxious about, I'm pretty sure I remember feeling this way around this time with Zoe, is like preterm labor. I don't have any risk factors for preterm labor. I don't have any symptoms or signs or anything like that. It's just because I'm getting so close to the end, I know our bodies can really do anything. So like really you're considered term and like you have a due date and everything at, 35 or 36 weeks or whatever it is. But like the closer I get to that, I'm just like, I keep seeing, YouTube videos and other people's stories on the internet of like, oh, here's my child, my water broke. I just know it can happen at any time, and I'm not really ready for that. And by not really, I mean not at all. Like I have not set up the bassinet. We haven't moved any of the furniture that needs to be moved and out, and all the clothes need to be washed and everything like that. So I'm kind of like starting to get a little bit anxious about that, so I really want to get that done. It's Gil's birthday this weekend, so I will not make him move all the furniture out of the house this weekend, but hopefully by like the first weekend in November or so, we can get that done. He's more of like a practical thinker, like it's not gonna happen, this and that, but I'm just like, it could, like look at the facts, look at all this, look at this lady and this lady, like I'm a little bit more high strung like that. I haven't really purchased any products lately. I will be doing a hospital bag video and diaper bag video. So look for those coming up, as well as the birth story. And yeah, with that said, I guess I will go ahead and show you the 31-week bump. Okay, so there is the bump at 31 weeks. I'm wearing black, so that's pretty noticeable in here. From the front, I guess you can't really see that in this way. Go ahead and maybe I'll just take this off. So, yep, there she is. I feel really, really round these days, so I can definitely tell she hasn't dropped yet. She's still pretty high up, like I said, and like when I sit down, you can see like, oh, she gets really up in my ribs. Again, I don't think I really have any stretch marks. I think I may have some. I don't know if you can see that, if that's focused or not. I see some redness around where my belly button is popping out. My sister said it may be stretch marks, and hers started like that, and then they got a little bit worse near the end. But yeah, other than that, that's us. Baby is still really, really, really active. I know they say around this time they start to kind of slow down their movements. But even with Zoe, she was super active right up until the end. So I think she might be following her sister's footsteps. The only thing that's different is that she's changing her like routine or pattern or schedule of movement. I notice when she's taking naps now, but like other than that, she's like moving all the time. One of my favorite moments from this past week was Zoe finally sat long enough to actually feel her kicking and pushing against her hand, and just watching her face was just like, what the heck. So I had her hand, like my hand on top of her hand, and she was moving around. I'm like, do you feel that? She's like, yeah. And I was like, well, like it's not Mummy. And I like took my hands off, and like she kept her hands there, and she was just like, what the heck? So then, and then she put both her hands down on, and she was kind of like pressing down, and baby was just like pushing against her hands, and she was just kind of like, she was amazed for a few moments, and then kind of just went off and started playing again. But like I had been waiting for that. Like I've been trying to get her to feel the kicks and the movements, or even to just to watch it, but she doesn't really have that attention span yet. So that was really special. That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot new with me. I was supposed to have a midwife appointment this past week. Like, I'm in my every 2-week appointments now, but the office was pretty booked, and since they have no concerns with me and I wasn't super anxious to have an appointment at the exact intervals, my midwife and I were okay with going to 3 weeks, and then from there we'll go to 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all doing fine. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!